Hey everyone, welcome back to Trip Tales. Two quick things to know. First, we now have a Trip Tales podcast community Facebook group. I'll link it in the show notes if you want to join the conversation over there. It's a place for Trip Tales listeners and like-minded travel lovers to ask questions, share trip ideas, and more. Second, I'm recording today's episode on a cold, rainy day here in Nashville in my brand new COMFRT Travel Essentials hoodie. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I can't quite shut up about these cozy travel hoodies. They've got tons of zippered pockets and a built-in eye mask for travel days. I'll put my link in the show notes. It gives you 15% off site-wide on top of their current sale. Get one for yourself or stock up on the perfect Christmas present. They also have, on today's episode, it's a good thing I'm in my cozy hoodie because we're headed to Montana for a family ski trip to Whitefish. I'm excited to introduce my friend Danielle, who has been out to Whitefish, Montana a couple different times and wants us all to know why she loves it so much. So welcome, Danielle. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Kelsey. I'm excited to be here.
I start every episode with a rapid fire get to know you. So tell everybody where you live, what you do, and about your family.
Okay, so I live just outside of Cleveland, Ohio. I am an oncology pharmacist and I live with my husband, my two daughters, ages one just turned 12 last week, which is crazy, but then another almost 9-year-old will be 9 next week. And then our two dogs, two cats, and whatever wildlife my kids have rescued that week. We always have lots of pets.
I love it. And we just got a puppy. We got a lab puppy named Penny, who
Aw.
is 3 going on 4 months. And we love her, but she is crazy. And I remember my first lab puppy was crazy, but I think I like block out the puppy days. It's kind of like having a baby. And then you're like in it and you're like, oh my gosh, is this ever going to end?
Yeah, labs are the best, though.
I know.
One
She
of
will
ours
come
is a
around.
lab, so
Okay.
the best.
I'm holding out. It's also
Yeah.
hard when it's like rainy and it's like gross weather and she loves to dig. She gets so muddy and then she's like, wah, in the house. And I'm like, oh
Yeah,
my gosh, I need a farm mudroom where I can like hose you down.
that's rough.
Okay, but moving on to Whitefish. I may be wrong, but in my opinion, Whitefish, Montana might not be the first place people think of when they're planning a typical family ski trip. And to be honest, I hadn't really heard of it until I saw you start posting about it on Instagram and about your trips there. So tell us how you discovered Whitefish in the first place.
Just like you, I had not really heard of it either. I grew up skiing and my parents took us to a lot of different places to ski. And um, honestly, Big Sky was kind of on my ski trip bucket list. But my husband went to school with a guy who has family out in Whitefish. So he kind of told us about it and he's like, you got to check it out. So we went 2 spring breaks ago for the first time and just fell in love with it. So now it's like one of our top places to go just because we just love it so much.
That's cool. I'm going to share a map of like where it is really quick because I was surprised when I looked up that it's like basically in Canada. We're like basically up at the Canadian border right here. When you think about like flying into, Montana or Idaho, some of the typical airports aren't exactly where you would fly into to get all the way up here. So let's talk about getting here from Ohio. How do you guys get here?
So we have to fly. Unfortunately, there aren't many direct flights from Cleveland. So we go from Cleveland to Minneapolis and then from Minneapolis to Kalispell. And Kalispell is one of those tiny mountain town airports. But there's not really, when we were first thinking about going out there a couple of years ago, I was looking kind of all the options. And if you don't fly into Kalispell, then you're kind of, like 4 hours away. The next closest airport is about 4 hours away from Whitefish. So for me, I don't love road trips. And when I fly somewhere, I just want to be there. So I just kind of told my husband, we're flying into Kalispell. That's it.
And do typical airlines fly in there, or are they like a small regional airline?
So Delta flies in there, I think United and Alaska Air, but not, I'm pretty sure American did not fly there. So you're kind of limited with your options. But at least, a big airline like Delta, and United, those go there.
Yeah. And we should also mention that it's very close to Glacier National Park. So you can see here on the map,
Yes.
we're like Whitefish, Glacier National Park. I think it's like a 30-minute drive between the two. So that's kind of the area of the country that we are in. Okay. So you've been twice. First for spring break, like you said, like a 7 to 8 day ski trip with your family and another family.
Yes.
And then you went back in July for a girls trip because they have a music festival called Under the Big Sky, which
Yes.
sounds super cool. And I looked it up and there's actually a lot of big names that go there. So two super fun and different trips. We can kind of reference both, but I think maybe we'll kind of start with like the ski trip idea of it all, and then we can cover off on the music festival kind of towards the end. So when you land in, what's the town called?
It's called Kalispell.
Kalispell. Do you then rent a car to get to Whitefish?
Yes.
Okay.
So you probably don't have to. You can certainly Uber, but because we were skiing and we have, all of our gear and big families, we just rented a car from the airport. And the airport to where we were staying on the mountain was like 30 minutes max, maybe like 20 to 25 minutes. So it's not far at all.
Perfect. And so let's talk about where you stayed. There is downtown Whitefish, and
Mhm.
then there's an area closer to the mountains. So where did you guys stay?
We were actually on the mountain. We stayed in a VRBO, or I guess they call it VRBO now. I don't know.
Yeah. It's so
But it
hard to
was
say that. I'm like,
I
Verbo,
know.
what?
I'm still gonna call it VRBO.
Same.
But it was a ski in, ski out. Like we literally sent our kids out the back door and said, "Hey, we'll meet you at the lift. Like just go."
That's
So
so cool.
yeah, they loved it. They loved it. So that was a lot of fun. So I mean, we were right that we did not have to drive to the lodge. So we've actually been on that ski trip for like two spring breaks. The first spring break, we were just kind of figuring things out. So the first few days we did drive our car down to the lodge and like rented a locker and everything. And then we were just like, we don't have to do this. Like we can ski out the back door. So then after that, we started just going out the back door kind of on our own time. And
Pushing your kids out
yeah,
the out the window.
exactly. We're like, go, go.
So did you stay in the same VRBO for those two ski trips?
We did.
Okay. And are there a lot to choose from?
There are quite a few to choose from. So where we stayed, it's like our condo it's like a 3-story with a basement, or maybe 2-story with a basement. It's almost like a duplex condo. There was another unit attached to ours. So it's like there are two garages in the front and they're completely different units. And then it just kind of goes up like, so you have your condo, but there were several of those. And it was kind of like the neighborhood that we stayed in. There were tons of units available. So
Awesome.
yeah.
And for a trip like this, are you getting groceries? Are you like getting them on your way in? Is there an easy spot to get groceries, or are you like Instacarting?
So both. It was actually very easy. So on our way from the airport to the condo, we would stop at Costco. There's a Costco there, which is great. And then there's also it was I think a Safeway grocery store. It's just on the way to the condo, so you don't even have to go out of your way. And we would do that to stock up initially, and then we would Instacart throughout the week. Or if we were going into town, we might stop back at the Safeway again. But Instacart was so easy. So we just did that most of the time.
Yeah, I love Instacart on
I
a
know.
trip. It's like, I know it's more expensive. I know it's a little marked up, and then you pay like the service fee and the delivery fee, and all of a sudden you're like, that was $30 extra. But it's nice to not have to like get back out and about on a
Right.
trip, and it just comes to you.
It's worth it, especially like when you're driving down the mountain in the snow. The extra
Yeah.
$30 is completely worth it.
Yeah. Now, when you are driving from the airport to the condo, do you go through downtown Whitefish?
Yes, you do.
Okay, so explain what downtown Whitefish is like. What's this little town like?
Okay, it's so cute. There are just lots of restaurants, lots of cute little shops, a couple of different yoga studios. Kelsey just showed a picture of downtown Whitefish, and that's kind of the main strip. There are just a lot of cute little boutiques, bookstores. My kids just love walking around there. If we have an off day or if we mainly go out there for dinner, it's just really cute. It kind of reminds me, I'm from Nashville, so I know downtown Franklin. It kind of reminds me of downtown Franklin. There are just shops and restaurants and little ice cream shops. Just a lot to do down there. We really don't venture out from there just because everything you need is right in that little town. The
Yeah, it's
mountain,
super cute. You can
yeah.
like see the mountain behind it. It's
hmm
like, I don't know if I would say Western, but like definitely like a very out west ski town vibe, like just a small town with lots of cute little shops and stuff. So fun. I love
Yes.
when a ski trip has a place like this where you can also kind of go into a little downtown area as opposed to just stay like in the base village.
Right. And this was about a 10-minute drive from the condo because, we're staying on the mountain. So you just kind of have to get down the mountain and into the town. But so many fun things to do in the town. There's something for everyone.
Awesome. So one of the first major things of a ski trip is trying to like gather all the gear. So are you guys typically doing that like right when you get in so you don't have to do it the next morning? Are you doing it the next morning? Tell us about getting gear here.
So the first year we went, we rented all of our gear and we did it. So I think we flew in on a Sunday and then we just went to the lodge and rented all of our gear that night. And it was really easy. I think we were there with the family that we were with and then one other family. So it wasn't like this huge line. It wasn't super crowded. But even with that, I just don't have much patience when it comes to like waiting for everyone to get sized and everyone to get all the things. So the next year we took our own ski gear. Like we all have our own skis and our own boots and we just took it out there. My husband was kind of hesitant to fly with everything, but it worked out. Like we have, the appropriate travel, gear for bringing your skis out there. And to me, that was 100% worth it, even though we have extra bags in the car, extra things that we had to bring with us. To me, that was worth it. And we didn't have to do any of the rentals when we got there. It was just, again, like we could ski out the back door as soon as we got there.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Can you guys drive places to ski from Ohio?
Yes. So actually, it's kind of funny. About 15 minutes from where we live, it's kind of a hill. It's not even as big as like Ober-Gatlinburg, but it's more of a hill. But my kids do ski club there. And so I never thought that anywhere in Ohio would have skiing, but it snows a lot here and there are some hills, so they make it work. But so where my kids go for ski club, it's so good because it's so good for beginners. Adults like would probably get bored. I've skied there a few times with my kids and it does get boring after a while, but at the same time you're skiing with your kids and you're watching them improve and they're having so much fun. So then that makes it fun. But there are a few places. So we have the one that's about 15 minutes from our house and then there's another one that's probably 30 minutes and then there are several other ones within like an hour and a half from us. And those are just in Ohio. But then since living here, I've learned that there are places in New York and Pennsylvania that are very drivable. There's actually a place in Pennsylvania that a lot of people in this area go to, and I think it's only an hour and a half away.
Is it Seven Springs?
Yes, they go to Seven Springs, and then there's Peak and Peak.
Okay, I don't know that one. I've been to Seven Springs. I was actually looking it up again to see if like we wanted to drive there, but I remember it being like a great spot for not getting on a plane.
Right. Yeah. And then there's the one in New York is called Holiday Valley, and I think that's supposed to be like the nicest one within driving distance that a lot of people go to. We still haven't been there yet, but yeah, I was very pleasantly surprised with all of the like local skiing opportunities we have.
That's why I was wondering, just because like to have your own stuff, I feel like you need to use it every once in a while, or at least for the kids, because I'm like, they're growing.
Right.
But I finally have my own boots and I'm like obsessed. And now I will be bringing those everywhere because I'm just like such a wimp at this point. And I'm like, if my feet hurt, then what's the point of doing this? So I'm so happy to have my own ski boots.
Well,
now.
yeah, your own boots, it makes such a difference.
did you guys do any sorts of ski school out here, or were your kids pretty good to go by the time you went on this trip?
The first year we put our kids in ski school the entire week. We're
Nice. I
just
love
like,
that. You're like, we need a break.
yes, ski school is God's gift to parents. And my kids actually really liked it. My oldest is kind of like saying, "Oh, I don't think I want to go to ski school every day." But my youngest loves it. And I think her favorite part, she says, "Mom, the food at ski school is so good. I love eating lunch there." So I'm just like, whatever gets you out there.
Yes.
But then this last time we went, we only had my oldest. She only did ski school for 2 of the days, but then after that, she hangs with the adults. Like I'm afraid she's going to become a better skier than I am,
Oh, she
and
definitely is. That's
like,
like
yeah, she's going to
what
surpass
happens.
me.
She goes to ski club after school.
I know that, and to me, that is the coolest thing. I'm just like, growing up in Nashville, we didn't have ski club, but like, it is so much fun, and they love
Yeah,
it.
that's so cool. So
Yeah.
is the ski school like a typical 9 to 3 type thing and they feed them
Yes.
lunch? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So just good to know that that is an option. I looked up the cost of lift tickets for fun. This was just via ChatGPT, but basically it seemed like 1 day tickets were a certain price, but if you ski more than 2 days, it was a little bit cheaper. They aren't on Epic or Icon, which I feel like is rare these days. I feel
I
like every
know.
single, even like the
Yeah.
small resorts have been like scooped up, but it's reasonable compared to some other places, which probably sounds crazy to people that haven't been skiing. But for adults, if you're skiing more than 2 days,
hmm
it's about $100 a day. For teens, 13 to 18, if you're skiing more than 2 days, it's 89. For juniors, which is like the ages of a lot of our kids, 7 to
hmm
12, $50 a day. I mean, that's like the price of a museum ticket
Right.
sometimes.
Yeah, it's so
And then
nice.
6 and under ski free. So I feel like it's reasonable pricing for lift tickets.
It really is, and that's one of the reasons we love it because and if you like call them, I've talked to them on the phone and they're just so easy to talk to. Like you call, you get a person right away. I love that they haven't been bought out by Epic or Icon. They're still
Because
their
their
own little
prices will go up.
right. And they pride themselves in, I think they have an ad or something that says like our lift tickets will never be more than $100 a day.
Oh, wow.
And
Well,
I
we'll hold
love
them
that.
to that.
I know. I mean, I feel like the most expensive part about that ski trip is getting out there. The flights to Kalispell are not cheap, but once you get there, it's like things are very reasonable.
Let's talk about like a ski trip morning because I feel like mornings can be a little up and at 'em, get up and out, but everybody has their different ski trip vibes. So there have been trips in my past skiing where it's like the people we're with, it's like you got to get on the first chair and everybody's up and throw a granola bar in your pocket and run out. And then there's some trips where we're like, who cares? We're sleeping in and we'll ski when we want to ski. So, what are your typical ski trip mornings like?
So, our typical mornings are the younger kids start their lesson, I think at 9 or 10 o'clock. It might be 10. And that's our first priority. So we get up, we get everyone fed, and then we get the little kids to their ski lesson. And again, we just like went out the back door. The run went straight to the lift where they were meeting for lessons. And then either we would be ready to ski or we would go, the adults would go back and get our ski gear on and then meet the kids later. But my oldest daughter, a lot of mornings, which is this is so funny because she's like a teenager, she never wants to get out of bed, but a lot of mornings she would get out of bed before everyone else and then just go ski. So
Oh,
she would be the first one and she's very responsible. And I feel like it's just very safe. Like it wasn't too crowded. You don't feel like there are a million people there. Like it's a big enough mountain, but it's small enough where if you need to find someone, you can find them pretty easily.
kind of still has
So,
that local vibe as opposed to the
yeah.
massive. The big ones now, it's like sometimes it can take you an hour to even get to somebody
Oh
because you
my
have to
goodness.
take 2 lifts and the whole
Yes.
thing.
Yeah. But yeah, back in the day, I loved to be the first one on the lift, but now I'm just kind of like, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to get out there at noon, but
Yeah.
we just get the kids to ski school and then we kind of do our thing.
Awesome. Tell us about the ski mountain, like the terrain. Is it beginner friendly? Is there a lot of advanced stuff? Like, what's the skiing like?
So I would say for the most part, it's very beginner friendly. There is advanced stuff if you want that. There are so many blues. There aren't a lot of greens, but there are tons of blues. There are blacks if you want those. There are double blacks if you want them. I won't talk about the time my husband took me and our friend down a cliff on a double
Mm-mm,
black diamond. I
mm-mm.
was not happy. I don't want to
No.
do those.
Were
Um,
you a mom at that point?
yes. Oh, this was 2 years ago.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
And I said, Brian, we have kids. We have kids that are in ski school right now. If I die right here, they're going to be without a mom.
Why do men still think that's fun to do at this
I
point
don't,
in life?
I
I'm like, you
was,
are not 20 years old.
no,
You're also going to get injured. Like, this is not fun for anybody.
no, it was not fun. And I would not have done that on purpose. And he just thought it was the greatest thing ever. So no, never again. But
No.
there are lots of double blacks if you want that. I don't mind a black, but I'm fine not doing the double blacks. I felt like a lot of the runs kind of like met at some point down the mountain. So you could say, hey, I'm going to take this run and I'll meet you on this run and then we'll get back together. And that's kind of what we did with our kids too. It's like sometimes we would split up and say, okay, I'll meet you right here. We'll meet at this lift. And the powder
Nice.
there is really good too.
I bet. I mean, you're
So
basically in Canada, so you've got
yeah.
some super fresh snow. Is there a lot on the mountain in terms of like if you were going to get something to eat? Is there like a main lodge that every time you're coming down to, you're kind of at like this main lodge area? Like what else is there?
Yeah, so actually at the bottom there is a main lodge, and they have, all of your like food options there. And then at the top, they just call it the summit, and there's food there. So there's a restaurant there, and that one's just kind of like not a buffet, but you just go to there are different stations and you can get like your burger and chicken tenders, or there's soup at this station. And sometimes they even had like tuna bowls.
Oh,
Um, it's certainly not gourmet food, but it's pretty good lodge food. Um, and then there's another place that was down one of the runs, and it's called Roaring Saloon. And that food was so good. Like you walk in and you feel like you're in a movie. And I mean, everything in that restaurant is made from scratch and it is
wow.
so good. And
That's
it's
so
one where you want to
fun.
just kind of sit and take your time. And then apparently I learned from the guys that if you buy one of their hats and you wear their hat, you get like a free beer. Like, I can't remember the frequency of how many beers you get, but the guys enjoyed that.
So they
Um,
bought a hat?
they definitely bought a hat and got their free beer.
Is it like a ball cap or like a toboggan, like a ski hat?
I think they have both options. My husband got a ball cap,
Okay.
but I think they have a few options. But it's pretty cool. I mean, and the food was so good. And we only discovered that restaurant this last year. We didn't discover it the first year we were there.
Oh, so
So,
it's big enough where you could maybe not discover something, but still not as big as some of
cool.
these other ski resorts.
Right. Like it's not a huge resort, but there are definitely, I feel like there are some runs that we haven't done yet. But we've skied most of the mountain.
Do you remember like what you ate at that? What was it called? Rip Roaring Hell
Hell
Roaring
Roaring
Saloon.
Saloon. Yeah, and there's a run called Hell Roaring. So I'm not sure what that has to do with the mountain, but I know there's some history there, I'm sure. I think I ate some kind of pasta because it was like made from scratch. And then I know someone at our table had French onion soup, which was really good.
Even chili or a burger tastes good when you're skiing on a mountain,
Hmm.
but when they like take the food to the next level, it's like such a fun moment on a ski
Yeah, and
trip.
this was definitely next level. Like it was really good.
Awesome. Okay, so you guys have your typical ski day. Maybe kids are in lessons, maybe they aren't. You guys are getting as much skiing in as you can. You might stop at the lodge down. Would you go back to your place for lunch ever?
We didn't.
Okay, so
We
it's more like
just
a breakfast spot. Yeah.
Yeah, we easily could have, but we just kind of wanted to stay on the mountain the whole time as much as we could, or
Nice.
utilize the day.
Yeah. Okay. So you do your skiing, and then what is the evening like? Like, what is there a hot tub situation? Are you guys just chilling till you go out to dinner? Like, what's the op race evening, afternoon situation like?
So there is a hot tub where we were, and I think most of the places have a hot tub.
Like your own
Um,
private one or within the
yes,
little community?
it
Okay.
was our own
Nice.
private one. And I did not get in there. The kids kind of just took over the hot tub, which was totally fine.
Yeah.
They were so funny. They would immediately come in. Like I think the hot tub was one of the highlights of their trip because I mean, being in a hot tub when there's snow on the ground is just like mind blowing to them. So they would come in from skiing. You would think they'd be tired. No, they caught a second wind. They put their swimsuits on, got in the hot tub, and then they would take turns jumping out of the hot tub in their swimsuits and like running in the snow or sledding in the snow in their swimsuits. And then they would just do it over and over again,
Yeah.
like until we finally said, okay, it's time for dinner. The first year we went, we made reservations almost every night for dinner. And then we ended up canceling a couple of them just because we just wanted to stay in. For me, especially when I was growing up, some of my favorite memories from our ski trips were coming in from a long day of skiing, showering, or getting in the hot tub and then showering. And then my mom would have made a big thing of spaghetti or a big thing of chili and just staying there. And then we would play board games or work a puzzle. So that's what we ended up doing the majority of the nights. We still did go out to dinner a couple of times, but the best part was just coming home. Everyone can just take their time getting ready, like, you know, putting on their Adam Sandler clothes and then eating dinner and then just relaxing. So that's my ideal night after skiing.
I agree. I love that feeling of like when else are you kind of working out the entire day? Like your entire
Right.
family, like being active the entire day, other than like a trip where you're hiking a lot. It's just like you're all kind of like a little worn out, but in the best way. And everybody wants to get so comfy. It is kind of hard to get dressed back up to go back out.
It
I
is.
like it. I definitely do like it. And I think it was easier pre-kids when I think about like going on ski trips
Mm-hmm.
with my family as well. It's like, oh yeah, you know, take a shower, have a glass of wine, get dressed up, and go out. But when you got to get a bunch of kids ready as well who are in their flannel pants, it's kind of like, let's just stay in.
Right, right. And it's so nice just to stay in and then let the kids fall asleep whenever they want, you know? And
Yes.
usually that's pretty early. So,
The only negative is that you have to cook then, which for me, I like
right.
cook most of the meals at home and I really don't like having to do that on vacation. Like I really try to avoid it. So that's the only negative. But I guess you could get takeout or order a pizza or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's talk about some of the downtown favorite restaurants for when you did get out and about to eat dinner. What are some
Okay.
of the places that are worth hitting up?
I would definitely say, I don't know if they pronounce it Abruzzo or Abruzzo, but it's Abruzzo. That is an Italian place, and I love Italian. And this is another scratch kitchen. They make everything in their kitchen, and it is so good. Just like the homemade pasta, it's so good. And then there's another place that we like that we've actually gone to every time we've been there. We even went on our girls' trip. It's called, is it Jalisco or Jalisco? Yeah,
Jalisco. Yeah. It starts with a J, guys.
yeah, yeah. It's like a Tex-Mex place, but it's kind of like a fancy Tex-Mex, and they have everything you would want except queso. So sad.
No. I
They
shared a
don't.
picture of it because I was kind
Yeah,
of impressed with how cute and I don't know if upscale is the right word, but like how cute all of these places are. Like, everything's done really well. So I just shared a picture of this
yeah,
cute Jalisco
yeah.
Cantina. But yeah, why do places not have queso? I'm like, everyone should have white queso.
Right.
Everyone.
I know. I mean, their guac is amazing. Everything they do is amazing, but it's like, come on, just get some queso.
Yes.
Um, but it's really, really good. The servings are so large that we have learned that like one entree is enough for two or three people. Like we're gonna bring home leftovers unless we share at the restaurant.
Nice. Well,
Um,
sounds good for like the big groups you've gone with and like
exactly.
lots of kids and stuff. It's like, let's order a
Yes.
couple things and share it with everybody.
Right, right. And then they have we love the margaritas there. They have a lot of different flavors of margaritas, so those were really good.
Fun.
But that's definitely one we hit up every time.
Okay. And then you had sent over a list of some restaurants. We're just going to go through a couple others. Lula's Cafe. Are they famous for
Oh,
Huckleberry Pie?
yes. So Lula's is so good. So that was our favorite breakfast place. You have to get the Huckleberry pie. It's made from scratch right there. But Huckleberry is a big thing in Montana. Um, oh yes, that's it. It's so
I
good.
just shared a picture of it from like TripAdvisor or something. But
Yes.
yeah, I feel like when you're out west in that area, like Huckleberry's everywhere. Huckleberry everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to try something Huckleberry. I mean, they have Huckleberry candy, they have Huckleberry chocolate, Huckleberry. I had a Huckleberry drink. I think it was like a Huckleberry. like mint julep. But that pie is so good. When we went on our girls trip, one of my friends actually just had that as her breakfast.
Yeah,
It
why
was
not? I
so
mean, it's
good.
basically like
Yeah.
a high-end Pop-Tart.
Right, exactly. But everything at Lula's is so good. It's just like a really good breakfast place. It can be difficult to get in, so you kind of have to get there early, put your name down, and then just go walk around for a little bit. But a that's definitely a must go to restaurant when you're in Whitefish.
Okay, awesome. And then the last place you shared was Last Chair Kitchen and Bar, which sounds like, getting on the last chair of the day.
Hmm.
I saw out front they even have like a little ski lift chair you can sit on and like take
Yes.
a picture. So tell us about that
Hmm.
restaurant.
So that was also really good. They just had like a lot of different things on the menu. I think they had some kind of bison and then duck, which I mean that's not super rare, but you don't see that on every menu. But it was really good. I feel like that one had something for everyone. The kids really liked it. They they also had Thai food at that restaurant, which was kind of odd, but it was good.
Yeah. It's like,
Like you
well,
don't, yeah, it was like, okay, here's your bison, and then you can get pad Thai if you want. So, but everything there was good.
awesome. Um, it sounds like you don't need to leave the resort, but if you were to leave the resort, there are a handful of things you can do in this area, whether you're there in the summertime or more in the springtime, which obviously the most major one is Glacier National Park. It's like so
Mhm.
iconic. So tell us about Glacier and the difference between going there when you guys were there in March for spring break and then when you were actually there in the summer for the girls' trip.
Okay, so yeah, Glacier is about a 30-minute drive from Whitefish. It's a beautiful drive. You don't even feel like you're in the car for 30 minutes. When we were there in March, the park was not completely open. I think it was only open about 10 miles in. So we went, and you could still drive your car 10 miles in, and we stopped at a lodge, and then at that lodge there was a beautiful lake, and we got out, walked around. The kids loved it. They explored a little bit, and then we just kind of packed up because that was as far as we could go. When I was there in the summer, it's completely open and you're able to go all the way in, and we did a beautiful hike one day and saw the water that was truly like that bluish green color. It was just amazing. And then we did, when we were there in the summer, the Road to the Sun. Or wait, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Road to the Sun was open.
What is that?
It's just like basically the road that goes all the way to the top.
Okay.
So I think it's called Road to the Sun,
Here, let's look
something
it
to the
up really
sun.
quick.
Yeah,
So it's the Going to the Sun Road
going to the
is a
Sun Road.
50-mile scenic mountain road in
Yes,
Glacier National Park that crosses with like all the views of the lakes and the glaciers and the mountains. Going to the
yes.
Sun Road. Okay.
Yes, and you can actually stop. There are some places where you can just pull to the side and stop and get out of your car, and it is just magnificent. Like some of the most beautiful views you have ever seen. It was just like an out of body experience. It was so beautiful. So I would say definitely go in the summer when you can do that just to experience that drive. So we hiked for a couple of hours, and then we went back to where we had parked our car and then got in our car and drove the Going to the Sun Road. And that took us to the top. And then we got out. We did see some fun wildlife. We saw moose, we saw little mountain goats. It was just really cool. And then on our way back down, there was a car that had stopped and they had seen a mama bear and her cubs, but we unfortunately missed those. But that would have been really
Wow.
cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kind of cool and kind of scary.
right. Right. We did have bear spray though. They say don't go without bear spray. So,
Okay, good to know. This is complicated because it's like, do you go in the winter so you can have all the fun skiing and the
right.
like not too crowded of a ski trip, or do you go in the
Mhm.
summer where you can see like Glacier? It's kind of
You just have to go
tough,
twice. You have to
I
go
guess.
twice.
Yeah. So a couple other things that it sounds like you got into off mountain
Hmm.
includes you mentioned a Vibe Wellness Lounge. Was this something you
Yes,
did on your ski trip or did you do this on the girls trip?
both.
Oh, love it. I love how you
So
can find a spa,
yes,
Danielle.
I know. So I will, and I'm so thankful for my good friend that we've gone on both of these spring breaks with, and she was actually on the girls trip as well. The first time we went on spring break, she said, "Okay, we're gonna have a girls' day, and we're gonna do the spa, and we're gonna go shopping." And I said, well, we need to run this by my husband." And she's like, "Oh no, you will get a spa day." she's like, I will make sure of it. So I said, all right, well, you're in charge.
I love it.
So she booked, we did massages and facials. And then actually the spa is right in the middle of all the shopping. So it's just perfect. We made our spa appointment for the morning and then we would shop afterwards. It's so nice. The esthetician there is really good. I've had the same one every time. I think they might have two different ones, but I've had the same one and she's wonderful. And then I've had a couple of different people for my massage and I have not had a bad one. And I'm very, very picky about my massages. I want deep, deep tissue. I need to be sore the next day. I need like work out all those knots. But it is fantastic. And the people there are so nice. When we actually went for our girls' trip, they allowed us to just book the entire place. We didn't have to pay anything extra. And they like set up a little party for us. They told us, like we could have champagne, we could bring in snacks or whatever we wanted. And they just made it like our place.
Aw,
So
that's so nice. I'm
it,
sharing a picture of it. So you guys, this is called Vibe Wellness Lounge and it's in downtown Whitefish. And it's just so clean and cute and aesthetic looking. And
yes.
that is good to know because, not every spa is awesome. So to know that the like treatments are great, it's worth your time, it's worth your
Hmm.
money, good to know.
Yeah, and it's not like, I mean, there are some other places in town. There's a really nice resort that offers, it's like a resort and spa, but the prices at Vibe are so much better. And I feel like the quality is just so good. I feel like
Yeah.
a lot of those resorts, it's almost like they're just upcharging you so much.
The
But this one
resort
is,
prices of spas these days are so out of control. Like I feel like every time you look it up, it's like 250 or $300 for like a 40-minute massage. I'm like,
right,
what is happening? Where is all this money going?
right. And I remember with this one, I had a 90-minute deep tissue massage, an hour facial, and it was right at 300 with tip
For all of that.
for all of it.
That's
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
And like
good to know.
we always leave a good tip. So it's not like you're skimping on that. Yeah. So we always get a girls' day, which is nice.
Love it. And then you also shared about Stumptown Art Studio. What is this?
Yes. So that is so much fun. The kids actually discovered that, but since then we have just gone every time we even went on our girls' trip. So it's like a place where they have all the pottery that you can paint. So the pottery is already made and then you paint it however you want and then you leave it there and they I guess fire it in the kiln and then they send it to you. So
Like they'll
you don't
mail it to you?
they'll mail it to you.
Oh,
Yes.
cool.
Yeah. So you don't get it for a couple of weeks, but it's like a fun surprise because you almost forget that you are expecting something from there and then you get it and then it reminds you of your trip and it's just so much fun. I remember we were walking around one day and the kids were starting to kind of melt down. It was on our off day and we just happened to walk in there and I'm telling you, since my kids were toddlers, if they were starting to melt down, all you have to do is get out the paint and just let them go to town and it calms them down. And so we went in there and everyone got to make something. Um, the kids just had a blast because they created their own little masterpieces and then we shipped them we had them ship them to our house and got them a couple weeks later. But it's just a great thing because one, it gives you like a fun souvenir that you made and then it allows you to think about the memories on your trip, but it's also just a nice activity to kill some time when you need something to do.
Yeah. Like what kinds of things did you guys paint as adults? I mean, we have a place like this in Nashville. My kids are obsessed with it, like all the little figurines. But what did you guys do
Yeah.
on the girls' trip?
We made, I think most of the girls made either coffee mugs or like flower vases.
Cute.
Yeah, it was really cute. And then I think one time last year, I think on the ski trip, I made like a toothbrush holder. I was like,
Oh,
oh yeah,
practical.
ours broke, so let's get another one.
Yeah. And it
So,
reminds you of the trip. Cute. I
right,
love that.
exactly.
Stumptown Art Studio.
Yeah.
How fun. And then in addition to that, there's always the downtown strolling and shopping. What was the weather like in March? I mean, you're pretty far north, so is it still pretty chilly?
So yes and no. Thankfully, on the mountain, it is pretty chilly. There was one day that we were really nervous because in the town, it was supposed to be 65 degrees, and we thought there's no way we can ski. But we skied every day. So last year when we went, we chose the like ski 6 out of 7 days. And there was only one day where it felt warm. And granted, our spring break is the very last week of March. So we are pushing it.
Yeah.
But the snow is still good. There was that one day where it got a little hot. I really wanted to take off my ski jacket and just ski like with nothing. But I was like, well, I have my phone and everything's in here, so I have to hold on to it. But I would just unzip it on the lifts and that would be fine. I would prefer it to be a little colder when I ski, but this was still very nice. You could kind of tell we were getting close to the end of the season. Unfortunately, like at the end of the week, you could start to see some grass on some of the runs, which is so disheartening because I'd never want ski season to end. But it was still like great skiing, good weather.
Awesome.
No complaints.
Okay, before we wrap up, let's talk about this July girls trip. So
Okay.
you decided to go back out there for Under the Big Sky Music Festival.
Yes.
So how did you decide to do this and how many girls went?
So this was my friend who does the spring break trips with us. She mentioned it because Mumford & Sons was playing in the festival and we love Mumford. So she's like, well, we have to go do this. Let's make a girls trip. And we just made it happen. So we had 7 girls and they were from all over. Like we had some of our friends from Ohio. I had one of my good friends from North Carolina, a good friend from South Carolina. And we just all met out there. It was like a Friday to Monday type trip. We rented a VRBO in town, which was the best decision because we could just walk everywhere. And then we only did the festival for one day. We only did it the day that Mumford was playing because we also wanted to have a spa day. We wanted to do a Glacier day. So I feel like that was perfect. I don't think at this point in my life I could handle a weekend long concert.
Yeah.
But
especially like it's not just one show. It's like an all day thing.
It's all day.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was so, so good. The music was amazing. I discovered artists that I had not known of before that I really like, and I looked them up, and now I'm kind of listening to their music too. It was a lot of fun. And the weather there was perfect. It got a little chilly at night, which is lovely.
Where does the music festival take place? Like, do you have to drive over there? Can you take a shuttle? Are you walking? Like, where is it in relation to downtown Whitefish?
I would say it's probably 10 minutes away. You can take a shuttle. Yeah, it's super close. You can definitely take a shuttle. We rented a car. We actually did a Turo. Thanks to your podcast. I had never heard of Turo until I was listening to your podcast. Turo was so easy. The best experience. I'll probably never not use Turo again.
We just booked another one we're going to Marco Island for my mom's 70th. And it's just like, they've got a car down there, but we're 5 people. So it's like, we should get a car as well. And Joe like had so much fun. My husband, Joe, is good friends with Danielle from high school. So that's why I'm talking so casually about him. But Joe was like, let's get a Tesla. And I was like, really? I don't even know if I really want to drive an electric car. But he's like, but why not? And it's like cheaper than a rental car. So we're going to drive a Tesla around in January.
Yeah. I know. It was great. Like we had a really nice, like almost brand new Tahoe. It fit all 7 of us. It was just so easy. It was nice. But yeah, so we just had our car and we drove to the festival. If we were to go back, I'm not sure if it would have been better to ride the shuttle and maybe it would have been better to ride the shuttle because it took forever to get out.
I hate that about concerts and festivals. Yes.
But it was worth it. We had, girl time in the car. So that was fun.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But seriously, like a girls trip where you have a day of a concert music festival, a spa day and a hiking day at Glacier.
Yeah.
That's like the best girls trip ever.
I know. It was perfect. And then the first day we were there, we went to the art studio and made our little pottery. So yeah,
fun.
It was a lot of fun.
And so if someone were to go out there for the summer because they wanted to see Glacier, but they wanted to stay somewhere cute with their family and stay in and around Whitefish, are there other things to do at the ski resort? You know how ski resorts kind of turn into like summer fun in the summer?
Yeah.
Is there stuff going on there?
Yeah, they turn it into like a mountain biking like paradise, which I don't love mountain biking. I prefer road cycling.
Yeah.
My husband loves mountain biking. I'm just not that dangerous.
He's like, let's go down the double black again, but this time on a bike.
Yeah. That would totally be him. I will just I'll go to the spa when he does that. And also on the mountain, the ski mountain, there are also different hikes you can do in the summer. So some of the girls, two of the girls that were on our trip with us, they came a day early and they actually hiked the mountain where we ski.
Cool.
So that's fun. Yeah.
Are you guys scheduled to go back again for spring break?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, 3 years
Yeah.
in a row?
Yes.
I love it. You guys love it so much. That's
I know.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, we're excited. The mountains are my happy place. I would choose the mountains over the beach any day. So just being out there, like I could just be sitting on the porch of our condo, just drinking coffee and be so happy. This it's just so beautiful. It's just the views are breathtaking. If you love the mountains, it's definitely a place. It's like a must-do trip because it's just so beautiful out there.
Yeah, Joe and I always talk about how like someday we would love to have a mountain house to visit
Yes.
in retirement, as opposed to like it feels like everybody wants a beach house or a lake house.
Yes. That's us too.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
we
and
can
every
share
time
one.
we go. Yeah, and my husband's like always looking at real estate out there and I'm just like it's a
Yeah.
dream, but
Yeah,
we can always
someday,
dream.
maybe someday.
Yeah, someday.
Okay, Danielle. Well, I end every episode with the same question. So, if someone out there is considering a family ski trip, what is it about Whitefish, Montana that would make you say, just book it?
I would say just the family-friendly environment, the affordability of the lift tickets and the kids' lessons. You really can't beat that anywhere. Once you're out there, it's almost more of like a relaxing place. I don't feel the stress of like the crowds or the lines. So it's just one of those places where you can get a lot of really good skiing and never wait in line for the lifts and, never feel crowded. And that's what I love.
Yes, a peaceful, family friendly ski trip. Really
Yeah.
can't be beat. Thank you so much for joining the podcast
Yeah.
today, Danielle. We've been
Thanks
talking
for
about
having
getting
me.
you on to talk about
I
Whitefish for
know.
so long, and we finally
Yes,
did it.
I know. I love this. It's so fun. Thanks for
Oh,
having me.
you're the best. And a couple quick reminders. Check out that Trip Tales Podcast Community Facebook group if you'd like to join us over there. And remember to use my 15% off COMFRT Hoodies link, which is in the show notes, if you need to stock up on Christmas presents. And that's all I've got for today. So I'll see you next time.